So hello and welcome back to the channel. There's one other small interesting problem with our input that we can sort out. See, when we provide the input first time, everything looks great. But then if I start to change the input, right, from for example, second one after it's filled. Well, I'm pressing 4 right now, and as you can see, it's not changing, right? Same goes here. So let's see what actually happens here. Let's place a debugger here. Okay, and let's see. I am in my second input, I'm pressing 5. So it triggers, and the value is 55. Okay, that's a number, and the value length is bigger than 0, so that's fine. Oh, but the problem is it doesn't go through our validation because we only allow digits, right? So on pin change and change pin focus won't trigger. How can we sort this out? How to fix it? Well, there's a kind of tricky way to do this actually, but I think it might make sense. We check the event that we receive from the browser. We can see that the value is 52 as expected. The previous number was 2. Now we provided 5. Okay, but there's a value here, default value, and this is the value that the input had before we provided the 5 new input, right? So this won't change, it will go back to being 2. Let's press 5 now. Now if I take a look at the value, it's 25. And as you can imagine, this is changing based on the way we place the cursor before or after the dot, right? This is 2. This is obviously 25. But what we have to use in that scenario is the default value that we had previously, okay? So what we can do, we can take our value, can change it to an array, and then find whether there's a default value in that array, and if so, we'll remove it and treat that as a new input. Okay, so to somehow visualize that, we will have input of 25. We'll split it something like that. We'll know that default value was 2, and we will remove it from an array and then use that as our new input. This, as you can imagine, will also work in the, put that here, the second scenario, right? When 52 being split to 5 and 2, we'll find that the 2 was the previous value, and we'll still leave it with 5 as new input. Okay, so let's see how we can write that. So it's gonna be with previous value, and this is gonna be event target default value. We'll need a various array, right? So all the values we have currently gonna be that, we must remember that this is a string, so we can split by empty character. And then I will write a helper function, remove value from array. This is gonna take values array and previous value. Go up here. Actually, this does not belong to the component itself, right? So we should actually do something like an utils file functions, and yeah, let's write that. We'll export this. It's gonna be remove values from array. It will take values array, gonna be array of strings, and a value to compare. Right, we must find that index. It's gonna be value index that is values array, find index. Let's compare every entry that we have there with the value that's interesting to us. Let's see whether find something. If not, just return. And then we can take the values array and splice it, starting with the value index, and remove just one thing. And then import it. Then our values array, okay. Our value is actually the only entry left in our array. We are pretty much sure that there are always only two values there, right? Because how we manage our state. So our value actually is values array. Remember that this array, gets mutated here. You could optionally copy that array and return new array, but since the arrays are passed not as a value but with reference, I know that this was just mutated. I can just do value pop and then check a simple check if our value exists. Okay. Sorry, that should fix that. So let's see. Let's start from the beginning. Right, and this has null. Now it's 1, 3, 2, 4. And now I'm placing my cursor here, and I will change those all three inputs to 6. Great, no problem there. That still works. Going back here, let's place all 9s. Good, change to all 6. Validate. Pins valid. Okay, so now we can really handle our pin input properly. It works no matter what. So yeah, I believe I will finish that mini-series at that point, and I will see you in the next episodes. Goodbye.